Hi everyone, CraftyLori here, and I am going to show you how I make these reusable sandwich bags. The outer fabric is a cotton fabric and the inside fabric is a polyurethane laminate fabric that is food safe. And I have two pieces, the cotton and this is the polyurethane laminate. One side is shiny, that's the laminated side, and the other side is a fabric. And you need two pieces 16 inches by 8 inches. And this is the zipper, and yes, I know it's too long for the project, but that's okay. That's the zippers I had on hand. So with the cotton fabric print side up, I am going to lay the zipper down on the project with a pull down. And I'm going to make sure both ends are over the edges of the fabric. And I'm laying the polyurethane laminate with the shiny side down. So I want right sides together. And I'm showing you that the zipper pull is down and it is to the left. And I am going to match up the raw edges on the top and the side. And then I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch away from the edge. I did back stitch in the beginning and end. And now I'm going to flip that piece up and bring it over to the back because I want the zipper sandwiched in between. And I'm making sure the raw edges are even. And I'm just going to give that a little tug, and then I'm going to take my steam iron and I'm only going to iron the cotton side, and it's on a low setting. I'm doing this fairly quick with the iron so I don't melt the polyurethane laminate on the back piece, and so I don't melt my nylon zipper. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to finger press the polyurethane laminate, also known as PUL, and I'm going to use a seam roller to do that, to finger press it down. And I'm doing it this way so that I don't have to use an iron on that because it will melt. And now I'm going to top stitch. And I'm just going to go to my machine and I'm going to top stitch 1/8 away from the edge. And there it is, and I did back stitch at the beginning and the end. And now I want to make what I call loopies. So I'm going to sandwich the zipper, the other side of the zipper, in between the cotton and the PUL again. So I bring up the cotton side and I match all the raw edges, and I match it to the side of the zipper, the raw edge of the zipper. And then I bring up the PUL, I'll just start calling it PUL. And I make sure all raw edges are even with each other. And then I'm going to take it to my machine. Oh, there's the loopies. See, I got a loop of cotton and a loop of PUL. And then I'm going to take it to my machine and I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch from the edge. And I did back stitch at the beginning and the end. And now I have to top stitch that part. So there's the loopies, and I'm opening up the zipper. I did sew everything with a closed zipper before. And now I'm going to turn that right side out, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this side. I'm going to hit it with the steam iron on a low setting so it doesn't melt, and then I will flip it over and I will use the seam roller again on the PUL part. But I'm just doing a quick iron on a low setting, and then with the PUL side I'm going to use the seam roller, and I'm just going to give that a quick roll, and then I will take it over to my machine and I will stitch 1/8 inch away from the edge. And there it is, all stitched, and I did back stitch in the beginning and the end. And now I want to close the zipper again. So I'm just going to zip it shut all the way. There we go. Finally got it zipped shut. And then I'm going to turn it inside out again with right sides together. And now I want to make the lip of my bag because the zipper is below the lip of the bag. So I take the cotton side first. And it doesn't matter what side you start on. I started on the zipper side. And I take a piece of cardstock that's 1 inch wide. And I'm placing it in there so it's butting up against the teeth. And then I fold over the cotton fabric. And that's just kind of like a template so I can get a 1 inch lip. And then I'm going to gently pull it out. And then I'm going to use a clip to hold it in place so it won't shift. And then I'm going to bring up the PUL side so it makes like little bunny ears. So I'm just grabbing it, and then you don't have to use a template for this part. You just have to match it up. So I roll it, and then I just make sure it's even with the cotton side, and I'm making sure the bottom is even with the cotton side. And then I'll use my clip to clip it together so it doesn't shift. I'll clip both of them together, and there's what I call bunny ears. And you can see I have 2 bunny ears, and that's what I want. So I'll clip those together, and now I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to use my template to make sure I get a 1 inch lip. I'm going to place it in there, make sure it's butted up against the side of the teeth. And then I will fold the cotton fabric over it, and then I will pull out the template. And then the PUL just naturally kind of sits in that position because the other side's already done, but I'm just making sure it's even. And there's my bunny ears again. And then I'll use a clip and I'll clip those together so they don't shift. And I'm just making sure the bottom's even. And now I have the lip all made. And now I want to add what I call finger tabs, and that just makes it easier to use the zipper. You can hang on to the tabs when you're opening or closing the zipper. So I do that by using 1 inch cotton ribbon cut to 2.5 inches long, and I use 2 of those. And this is optional, you don't have to do this, but I like the finger tabs. So I'm using double stick tape. That's 1/4 inch double stick tape, and I'm putting it even with the raw edge, and then I'll take the backing off, and then I'm going to fold over the cotton ribbon and stick that together, and then I'll add another piece of double stick tape. That's the 1/4 inch double stick tape, and I'll peel off the back, and I'm going to start with the zipper, the side with the zipper pull, and I want to make this open now. So I'm going to open the zipper to halfway into the bag. And then I'm just going to make sure that nothing shifted. And then I'm going to make sure those zipper teeth are touching but not overlapping, but the zipper teeth are touching. And this way it'll hold the zipper teeth in place when I sew because of the stickiness of the tape. So I'm matching raw edges and right in the middle of the zipper, and I'm going to give that a good press, and then I'll flip the cotton fabric back over it. This is a neat little trick so when you're sewing, the zipper doesn't separate because you have to have it open for the next step. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. I'm going to add my double stick tape to the ribbon, peel off the back, flip the other piece over, and then I'm going to add another piece of double stick tape. I love this double stick tape. I use it for a lot of sewing projects. And then I'm going to give it a quick press, and then I'm going to peel off the back, and I'm going to match the raw edges of the ribbon and the cotton fabric, and I'll stick that on there. Give it a press, and then it's ready to go. I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to start with the zipper stop side. This is just the way I like to do it, and I'm going to sew all the way down. I'm going to sew all those pieces together, and when it comes to the tab and the zipper, I'm going to back stitch about 2 or 3 times because a lot of strain gets put on the zipper and the tab. So there it is. I stitched a 1/4 inch away, and now I'm just going to clean up a little bit of the overhang I have there with the scissors, and I'm going to cut the zipper. And I'm using scissors that I have dedicated for this purpose. I'm not using my fabric scissors. I have special scissors I use when I cut zippers. And now I'm going to do the other side, but this side's a little bit different. I'm marking about 4 to 5 inches down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew to that mark. So I'm sewing to that mark, and I'm showing you that I already did sew it. And I did a back stitch at the beginning and at the end. And then I'm going to flip up the PUL, and I'm going to get as close to the PUL as possible without sewing into it. And then I'm going to sew the cotton fabric, and I'm back stitching. And I'm going to sew that cotton fabric all the way down, and when I get to the end, I am going to back stitch. And then once I cut my thread, this is a neat little trick so you don't have a seam inside the bag. It's all enclosed. And I'm leaving an opening in the bag for turning. It's about a 2-inch opening. And I'm going to sew the PUL. And yes, it's already sewn because I forgot to hit record when I did it. So I'm just showing you how I sewed it, and I back stitched, and then I sew all the way to the bottom. And that's about a 2-inch piece that I'm sewing. And then I cut the thread, and then see, I have kind of a flap here. I have sewn all the way on the cotton fabric, but I have not sewn all the PUL fabric. And now I'm going to cut the zipper like I did the other side. And I'm going to take off the clip, and now I'm going to turn it right side out. So I have that little turning hole, and I'm just gonna grab the corner of the inside with my 2 fingers, and I'm gonna bring it through the hole, and then I'm gonna do some twisting and turning to get the bag right side out. So I'm doing this gently because I don't want to stretch anything out, and I don't want to rip any of the stitches. So the hole that you make, the turning hole that you make can be as big or as little as you want it. That's just the size that works for me. So I'm kind of fiddling with it to get it right side out. And then once I get it right side out, I'm going to fiddle with it some more to get it the shape that I want and to get the corners turned out. And then once I get the corners kind of turned out, I'm going to take a chopstick, and I prefer the metal chopsticks. And I'm going to stick the chopstick in the turning hole to pop out the corners even more. And I just give them a little jab with the chopstick, the bottom corners and the top corners where the lip is. And I just work my way up and just give it a little poke, and that makes the corners nice and crisp. And there we go. I got it just the way I want it. And now I'm going to sew the turning hole closed, and I just flip over the edge, I roll the edge, and then I take it to my machine and I backstitch at the beginning and the end. And the bag is finished. These make great snack bags, sandwich bags. You can make them any size you want. You have different prints you can use, different cotton prints, and they're environmentally friendly. So let me know in the comments if you're going to make these sandwich bags or snack bags. So thanks for watching. Bye.